Okay, let's talk hair and ears for the people that we are drawing. So the full face, I mentioned, like counting out your boxes, getting these things in there, wanting to make sure those tic-tac-toe boxes are blocked out, and having everything in where they belong. So once you have your face done and in, and getting your chin and all of those things in, you should have the sides of your face coming in, all that jazz. We should have the top of the head in there. Like that should be in this general vicinity. So once you've gotten those things in, okay, and shaded and all that jazz, we're gonna need some ears, if you see ears, and we need some hair and focus on maybe where the shadows and things are in them. So first thing is that ears, okay, you're not necessarily seeing the ear from the side. You know, this is the general contour of the ear, like a fish hook with kind of a curved Y there. But for the most part, you usually see like the ear from the side when you're looking at someone's face. So my ear here, like I was saying in the original full face video, a lot of times people spend too much time on their ears. You want to remember that the ears are between the eyebrows and the bottom of the nose. It's that amount of space. And depending on the person, like it might tuck into the head more, or it might stick out a little bit more, come down, come over, have a curve. It really just depends on the person. But the basic shape just comes out, making sure that you're there toward that eyebrow line, and then follows the contour of the face down so that it's right there where the bottom of the nose is, or somewhere in that general vicinity. Then there is this top part of the ear. So you see like a little line right here. I'm gonna go just a little bit right there, okay? And then there's usually this little, I believe it's called the dave, because some people get it pierced when they have migraines, but it kind of comes out like that. And there's a shadow in here. So you shade a little bit here. You can do a little there, but for the most part, that gives you an ear. And this is going to be in shadow anyway, for the most part. So you're usually going to have like this edge of the face shaded. It's going to be shaded a little bit. I'm going to use my sweater and blend it. But you don't have to spend a ton of time to get an ear that looks like an ear. So go back to my creepy face that's not really a face yet. If I've got the side of my face in here, all I need to do is go boop, bring it down, and then put a line here. I can even start shading a little bit right there. That little bump for the dave, and just shade a little, and it's done. Don't spend too much time. Just give it a little, like find your eyebrow line. This is the eyebrow line, bottom of the nose line. That's where it goes. Curve it around. Shady, shady, shady. You'll be shading this anyway and blending together, and it will come together like it's supposed to. Now, you can look at a picture, you know, if you're drawing a specific person, but this is just for our sort of people out of the imagination. So you don't have to go crazy with it being hyper realistic. There's a lot of different like ear shapes here in this one too. So it doesn't have to be that intense. Okay, so let's go to hair. I mentioned like making hair coming up from it, flopping down on the forehead, that you always have hair Okay, so like this picture here of like Superman extravaganza, you always have hair that's here by the ears. If you see the ears, you're gonna have a little bit of hair right there. If the hair is covering the ears, obviously you don't have to. So you wanna figure out where your ears are and put some hair on either side. Then you wanna find your hairline. So your hairline, like I mentioned in the previous video, between the top of your head and your eyebrows, your hairline is going to be somewhere in there. So these guys are from 3/4 view, but in general, get your hairline in, and then your hair grows up from the top and kind of works its way out like this crown, so you can know what direction your hair is going to be going. And then you want to look at shape. Shape and where things are pointing is something that you need to be thinking about when you are looking at these. And obviously these are from the side or 3/4 view. So it kind of gives a little bit of information about the volume of hair and how things work. And you want to keep in mind, there's overlap, there's some thin and thick. You don't want to go all thick. You want to have some variation. So here I've got some like different layouts that I put into a Google Doc that just kind of show different orientations of the hair. Like you can see a little bit shorter there and then floppier. So really, you know, shapes of hair, you don't need to worry about every individual hair. You are worrying about the basic shape. Now that's getting a little intense. But basic shape is what you want to look for. So say for example, now, is this going to be an exact science? No. I'm going to get a basic face form in here. I'm going to throw together a little thing here. And now you could say, why didn't you draw that eye? Well, I can. But what I was thinking about doing was giving you an example of how overlapping. So say for example, like there's some hair like this where it flops down in front of one side of the face. So normally the hairline would probably be like my space for the top of the head would be here. The hairline would usually be here. But if there's hair that kind of comes down over the forehead and goes to the eyebrow, like you're gonna have hair here. But if it comes down in front of this part of the face, look at where it loops over. Like you might end up seeing like this little part of the face, and you want to keep in mind that there's going to be a shadow underneath any hair that's overlapping your face. Because again, that's part of the form and how you bring things together. So I'm not going to see this eyeball, therefore I'm going to remove that part. But maybe this hair is going to come over and curve. So this would be a part where you would look at like the form of the hair. I'm not drawing every single individual hair. I'm looking at where it touches the face. Okay. You want to look at where you see shadows. So obviously there's going to be a shadow here underneath the chin, there's going to be a shadow where this hair overlaps. It's just like anything else that you would draw that is solid. It's going to cast a shadow. If there was only like a little sprig of hair that came through like this, and then some of the hair came over, you would see like part of the eye there. But I'm going to go in and give you kind of an example of where the shadows and the highlights should be. So like in this one, if your light is coming from above, like it's going to be on top, and then it's going to be sort of at the front where it's curving over. If it's coming from the side, it's going to come from that side. So you keep in mind, like you don't want it to be a straight line. It's going to kind of follow the contours of the hair. Here's another from the side thing. If my highlight's coming from here, then my shadow is going to go underneath. Anywhere where you have light hitting something, you're going to have a shadow under it. That's just the way that light and shadow works. That's why we've been practicing this whole year talking about it. So I'm going to say that my light's kind of coming from over here. So my lightest area is going to be probably in this general vicinity. And since my hair is kind of coming forward, I'm going to kind of give it, I'm not going to make it a sphere because I don't want it to be a stripe. I'm going to shade down here and then blend it into where my highlight is. Shade here, bring it up to my highlight. I'm going to say there's like, if there is a part in the hair,